Scream. This is an R-rated horror mystery movie released in 1996 and is about 1 hour and 51 minutes long. The story of this being a year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a killer. He also targets the girl and her friends to use in horror films as a part of a deadly game. Straight into the good points. Now, the good points about this movie is this is a movie which really elevated slasher movies at a time where it was at its downfall in that genre. It really was struggling. And the fact that this movie really boosted it back up after a downhill time was really epic. Behind this we have Kevin Williamson as the writer. I think he done an amazing job backstage. Alongside him we have obviously director Wes Craven, obviously known for his role behind Nightmare on Elm Street. Coming into this, really putting a great horror scary element behind it, but also with that mystery. I really felt his take on this movie was really great. The opening 10 to 15 minutes of this movie is some of the best I've ever seen in horror movies, some of the best I can remember. From the phone ringing, you instantly know something's going to go on. Then we go through to the obviously death of one of the biggest stars out there in Drew Barrymore, playing obviously as Casey, which was ultimately shocking because she was the main big name, and really how they all planned out this first 10 to 15 minutes was absolutely epic. The third act of this movie I really did enjoy as well. I thought it was absolutely awesome. From the reveal, how everything really pans out really. I think it was great because it really switched a lot. You didn't know where the story was going to end, who the killer was going to be. Because one minute you thought the killer was somebody, then it led to the next. Yeah, you can see from the beginning, after watching it the first time, you can sort of see, okay, yeah, they were the killers because the way, obviously, they were the creepy ones from the beginning, really. But really, I think they handled it perfectly. The smartness behind the writing and the script is really well shown in this movie. It isn't just a classic horror movie, go out there, use all the tropes and the conventions and stuff. It really makes the characters aware of horror movies, and they know the horror conventions, they know the horror cliches that go on, and they know once this situation starts panning out, they feel like they're in a horror movie, which makes it so smart, so much more enjoyable and interesting. Tone of the movie is something I really did enjoy. From the beginning, with the opening 10 to 15 minutes, it really sets up the mystery, and then obviously the atmosphere where the killer's constantly ringing at night time on the phone. You know, as soon as that phone rings, something's going to be said or done. It really is great. And then alongside that, obviously, we have all the different feelings. As soon as that kill happens, we feel shocked. We feel actually interested in the film. We obviously feel tensed when the moments start happening from beginning to end. You're constantly trying to keep an eye out, and this is where it sets the mystery of who is obviously Ghostface. The cinematography for its time, I feel it was absolutely great. I really did enjoy it. Alongside that, we have some editing and pacing which really mix well throughout the movie. As soon as it gets going, it doesn't stop. Even from the moments where you have some lovey-dovey moments, it really feels tense throughout them scenes as well. The fact that 3/4 of this cast really weren't famous, but they were on the rise, was really well good casting. We have some top performances from the majority of the cast throughout the board. I really do have to say there were some great performances, but my favourite performances and characters were from Neve Campbell playing as Sydney. I really did enjoy her in this movie. She was completely badass throughout the whole movie. That's something I did enjoy. She wasn't one of these, oh my god, running around everything. Yes, she done that, but she also had a badass side to her. From the beginning to the end, she really changes her character. She really starts to learn to not be scared of Ghostface and really starts standing up to him and really gives off this badass face. Then we have Skeet Ulrich playing as Billy Loomis. I really did enjoy this guy. Now, I only know this guy from Riverdale. I never really seen him in any other movies apart from this one as well, so this was a really great performance. I really just instantly really connected with the character. I felt like he was that cool, laid-back, cocky guy, which really tried to get in the pants of the main character, really. He was one of them sort of guys you could relate to in school and stuff and college, and you could just see what this character was like. And he really had a little bit of a weird side to him as well from the beginning, but really he fits into the story and the mold of his character really well. Alongside him, my favourite of the film in general was Matthew Lillard playing as Stu. I really love this guy. He was pure comedy throughout the movie. He slotted in and out of the movie perfectly, which led to that epic reveal of him and Billy being the killers. It's just really epically handled that. But obviously the performance of Matthew Lillard, I only know him again from the Scooby-Doo movies, which is something crazy because this was the role which really landed him and elevated him to the level where he needed to be. Now, Ghostface as a character and a horror icon in general was epic. the way the mask is so basic, it sort of reminds me of Michael Myers. Obviously, the TV series has took a whole new element to it, which I do enjoy, but the originality of the first mask really holds up. The whole concept behind the character as well, the way he kills people, the way he likes to use horror movies and the tropes behind it is just so epic as well. On to the bad points. Now, there is unfortunately a couple little bad points, which they're not really nitpicks. Normally I tend to nitpick at stuff, but this movie does have some bad points. The kills in this movie are really underwhelming. That's the first point I want to say, is because most of them were really similar to the others. There was some sort of creativity in one of the kills, which was really bad. It was the garage door closing, and it was just really unbelievable. It really was trying to be creative, but I just felt there was nothing really creative in this movie when it comes to the kills. Also, some of the comedy in this movie, but the rest of the comedy which was in this movie, especially from the character of Dewey, obviously his main role is being goofy and stuff, and I just really didn't like the character, and I really didn't like the other comedy surrounding Matthew Lilliard's great performance. The main bad thing about this movie for me is the movie is starting to feel dated. Even though it was made in the late 90s, mid-90s, I just feel like it's starting to feel really dated, and that's mainly because of how much everyone's picked on this movie. Obviously, Scary Movie really spoofing it up. A lot of people tend to take the mickey out of this movie a lot, and it's really, and obviously people taking things from this movie and using it in other movies, it just starts to feel a lot more dated, and it really suffers from that. So guys, it's rating time. Let's have a look what the critics had to rate this movie. We have IMDb giving it a 7.2 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 79%, and Metacritic giving it a 65. My rating for this movie is an 8.5 out of 10. That makes this a totally fucking awesome movie. Overall, guys, this movie is so rewatchable. It isn't perfect by no standards. There is some faults with it nowadays, but back then I'm sure it would definitely held up as one of the best movies of all time. It really is entertaining and great within the slasher horror genre. It really done something special, and it's always a movie I tend to recommend and go back and watch, especially there's some people which really haven't seen the movie, which is quite shocking. I definitely recommend you do, because I love it and I'm sure you will do too. So guys, an 8.5 out of 10 for Scream. Don't forget to let me know your ratings and thoughts in the comment section down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you agree with my rating and my thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below, of course. Guys, don't forget to check out the rest of the Best of Horror YouTube series. I'll leave a link in the description for the playlist and an annotation at the end of the video. We've talked about The Exorcist, The Shining, Halloween, The Witch, and there's so much more to come into that playlist in this month going forward. I don't want you guys to miss it, of course. As well as, guys, I'm starting a Terminator franchise review, where obviously we're leading up to Terminator Dark Fate coming out next week, which I'm super excited. So there's going to be a bunch of Terminator reviews and horror reviews coming up on the channel, which are hopefully you guys really do enjoy and get involved with in that comment section. Also guys, there isn't going to be a vote for the next horror movie which I'm going to review. I want you guys to comment down below your favourite horror movies, ones that I haven't reviewed of course, in that comment section, or head over to my Twitter, jspring94, where I'll put a post up on my Twitter. I'll put it as the pinned tweet on my profile, where you can basically comment your favourite horror movies on there, or DM me as well, which I'll obviously get back to you as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time, guys, on Talking with Jay Springer.